would like to call the meeting of the... Thank you. I would like to call the meeting of the Licensing Authority of the Town of Barnstable to order. Today is Wednesday, November 20th, 2024, 10 a.m. at Barnstable Town Hall. We are meeting in the James H. Crocker Jr. Hearing Room on the second floor of the Main Street building. For everyone's edification, the meeting will be televised via Channel 8 or High Definition Channel 1072, and it may also be accessed via the Government Access Channel live stream on the Town of Barnstable's website. So let me call the meeting to order officially and introduce the board members and the staff. I am John Flores. I am the Vice Chair of the Authority, filling in today as Chair. To my right is Larry Decker, who was our clerk. To his right is Nancy Carlson-Lidman, and to her right is Jessica Silva, two other members of the authority. And to my left is Mr. David Anthony. David is the Director of Asset Management, Public Buildings, a whole host of things. Your title has recently changed, so I know it's all-inclusive. It's number 25 on the job list and everything else aside. And to my far left is Officer Chris Kelsey, who is our liaison between the Licensing Authority and the Barnstable Police Department. So welcome everyone in the audience. I'd like to read the notice of recording required by law that this meeting of the Barnstable Licensing Authority is being recorded and broadcast on the Town of Barnstable's Government Access Channel. In accordance with the Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 20, the chair must inquire whether anyone else is recording this meeting, and if so, please make their presence known. And not seeing any, we can go immediately into public comment. Is there anyone from the public who would like to make a comment? Not seeing any, we can go right into the approval of minutes, the minutes of September 25th and the minutes of October 23rd. Could I have a motion to accept the minutes of September 25?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the minutes of September 25th, 2024 as printed.
Is there a second?
I second.
Is there any discussion, issues, concerns, edits, changes? Not hearing any, we will take a vote. All those in favor of approving the minutes of September 25, 2024, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that is a vote. Could I have a motion to approve the minutes of October 23, please?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the minutes of October 23rd, 2024 as printed.
Second.
Okay, we have made a motion. We have a second. Any discussion amongst members of the commission? Not seeing or hearing any, then we will take a vote on October 23, 2024 minutes as printed. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is a vote. Okay, moving to the approval of the 2025 hearing and deadline schedule. There is a staff report relative to the schedule that has been set up much like 2024. Meetings are scheduled for the fourth Wednesday of each month with the exception of November and December. And Mr. Anthony, would you like to expand on that at all?
Certainly, thank you, sir. The hearing schedule changed this past year to our Wednesday at 10 o'clock schedule. This seems to have been working and people have adjusted quite nicely to it. It is proposed to carry forward into calendar year 2025. The exception of November and December are due to the holidays and the way that they fall, so the exact dates of those will be forthcoming. But the motion is to approve the 2025 hearing and schedule as Aaron Logan, as licensing director, has proposed, which is essentially what we've been doing for the past 6 months.
Okay, thank you. Could I have a motion to approve the 2025 hearing and deadline schedule, please?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the 2025 hearing and deadline schedule as printed.
And
Second.
Okay, that motion has been made. Second, any discussion, any questions, issues, concerns? Not hearing any. We'll take a vote. All those in favor of approving the 2025 hearing and deadline schedule as printed, signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that is a vote. Okay, moving into public hearings. The first one is for a new common victualler license. It's a change of ownership, actually. It's an application that's been filed by 1934 Ice Cream, Inc., doing business as Four Seas Ice Cream, located at 360 South Main Street. located in Centerville, for an annual common victualler license with 28 seats inside, 12 outside. Proposed hours of operation are daily from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. And from staff comments, the new owners propose to operate Four Seas Ice Cream. There are little to no changes to the daily operations, and the floor plan and menu remain as is. Is there someone here from Four Seas Ice Cream who would like to speak, please?
Good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
My name is Leslie McElhatton. My husband Josh and I own 1934 Ice Cream Inc.
Questions from the commission?
Are you going to be open year-round or seasonal? What do you plan on doing?
The plan is to continue pretty much as it is now with scooping and through the season, and then selling pints and quarts in the off-season.
And I was noticing your menu, is it staying the same?
That's the plan right now. We figured we would do, pretty much exactly as they have it now, and then make changes as we get to know the business a little better.
And what experience do you have in running a food?
This would be our first time running a food establishment. We have gotten professional training in ice cream manufacturing. My husband and I each did a course to do that, and we've been working extensively with the Warrens to learn their methods of operation.
And we have the Serve Safe.
And we also have the Serve Safe and allergy training.
Do you have any, retail experience outside of food?
No, we do not.
So trial by fire.
Sort of, yes. This has been a dream of ours for a long time, to operate an ice cream shop. So this is a chance to try something entirely different for us, but something that we've been hoping to do for quite a while.
Well, you got the best.
Thank you.
This is a very historical location within the town, within the community on Cape Cod. Pretty much everybody knows Four Seas. There's pictures and posters and paintings and people standing in line during the summertime waiting to get ice cream. And I think everybody on this dais, it's probably everybody who at one time or another has passed through Hyannis or Barnstable in itself has stopped at Four Seas once or twice. So it's a tradition that has been long respected, long honored. So it's something that you'll have to keep in mind, that it's not just your typical franchise Dairy Queen or whatever, nothing against franchise Dairy Queens, but it's a very special kind of location with a great history.
Absolutely. And that's what we love about it, too. I remember going there when I was 4 or 5, and
You get it then. Okay.
it's so many people love it. We want to maintain that.
Good. And the only other question I have is, what is the significance of 1934 ice cream? It's not the address, is it? What's
It's not
19
the address, it's the year the original ice cream shop was established.
At that location?
At that location.
Oh, okay, that's cool. All right, good. Any other questions from anyone on the commission?
Just curious as to when would the transfer will actually be happening, just so that we have a note.
We're scheduled to close on December 4th.
Very good.
Officer Kelsey, any questions, concerns?
None at all.
Thank you. Okay, with that being said, I will entertain a motion to approve the new license for 1934 ice cream.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the new annual common victor license for 1934 Ice Cream, Inc., DBA Four Seasons Ice Cream, as submitted.
Second.
Okay, the motion's been made. We have a second. Any other discussion before we vote? Not hearing any. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that is a unanimous vote. We have just put a ton of responsibility on your shoulders.
Thank
Go
you.
for it.
Thank you very much.
Good luck. really. Best of luck.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good luck. Okay, item number 2 on the agenda is to amend a general on-premises license. This is an application that's been filed by the House of Hatchets, doing business as the House of Hatchets, located at 489 Bierce's Way in Hyannis, for a change of license category from wines and malts to all alcoholic beverages. Staff comments of the House of Hatchets have been operating with a general on-premise, no prepared food on site, with wine and malt sales only. They now propose to expand to an all-alcohol service. There have been no known problems with this establishment, and the application is complete and ready for our consideration. So with that being said, is there anyone in the audience to speak to this issue? Could you introduce yourself and tell us what's happening at the House of Hatchets?
Well, my name's Clifford Harris. I own the House of Hatchets. Yeah, just looking to, it's all more revenue-based than anything. I wanted to, when I first opened this, I had no intentions of doing alcohol, but trying to keep the doors open and lights on. We went beer and wine. I wanted to get that down to a nice
I'm assuming,
rules and get myself and my staff in line, and with not having any issues, just wanted to do some different cocktails.
I mean, alcohols and hatchets aren't necessarily congruent, so there's always questions.
It's
How
you know
do
it's
keep that
funny.
separate?
You know, I tell people here in the Northeast, I think we live in a litigious society. We worry about what if. But I've had absolutely no issues whatsoever. Most people come in, they stay for an hour, they want to do the activity. We have archery now, and then they leave. We're just trying to offer different offerings, more for revenue than anything. So it's kind of where we're going. Even mocktails as well.
So can people drink before they throw hatchets, or are they only allowed to drink after they throw hatchets?
You can drink while you throw
When-
hatchets. There's an area.
Okay.
Think of it. I try to tell people when I coach people when they come in. It's like bowling. Okay, like there's no alcohol allowed in the lanes, and there's no hatchets allowed out of the lanes. So and even with our coaching, we say at no time can a beverage and a hatchet be in your hand. So alcohol stays there, and you go. It's like you roll your ball, and you go back and sit down. You finish your drink.
Other questions from the committee?
Go ahead. Yeah, I had a question. Now, there's no prepared food,
Yeah.
but you're serving purportedly all alcohol. You have snacks or,
Yeah, we have chips, snacks, popcorn, like we do microwave popcorn, stuff like that. But I have, there's 3 other restaurants in the plaza.
so you're not going to go for a sit-down like
No,
any?
no, I don't. I mean, maybe eventually down the road, I might look at something, pizzas or nachos or something. But I also have neighbors that run restaurants that are, we're all trying to keep in business here. So I'm trying to be respectful to them, and they're trying to be respectful to me. We do some things together.
Oh, okay.
Like go to the hibachi and then either come here before or after. Or we do a lot of stuff like that. Even people will call over to Bobby Burns and they'll have something sent over, some potato skins or something like that. So
And no problem with that?
no, yeah, it's I was even nervous thinking, but it's really, I think, having a background in law enforcement, we kind of have a persona about us. Some people can tell that I've been a police officer. I don't know if I smell like bacon. I don't know what it is. Teasing you, kids. Yeah, so I think it's all a matter of the atmosphere, and I want to. First thing when people come in, it's about safety.
Okay.
The first thing we come in, my spiel is, just like your house, we have rules at our house. It's the first thing that we say when you come through the door.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from members of the?
Do you have leagues there, or do you just, is it all open?
No, we have leagues on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Actually, our all-ladies league is starting up in December. We do leagues on Thursdays. We do marathon tournaments. We actually have another Olympics coming up. We have 5 events that people can partake in, from throwing a hatchet to archery to a full axe. We have a lane to throw a full axe. And we do knife throwing as well.
You do training?
We
you have
want you to
classes?
come in. We coach you until you're good at it. You're at least.
But do you have it like an official school or official classes that you have? Someone signs up and they
Oh,
want?
no, when you come in, so there's 2 other places on Cape that are, I was the first. It's really simple. The length of the lane is 12 feet. A lot of the other places on Cape don't have 12 feet of space. So I get a lot of people that come in that are frustrated that they can't get the hatchet to land. With it being 12 feet, it's really just 1.5 rotations. I have octogenarians that come in and throw hatchets. So as long as you can throw a 2-pound ball over your head, that's pretty much all you need as far as strength goes. We use cottonwood. We have this wood chipped in that's really soft, so the hatchets don't bounce. They might if you're, to say they're not going to come back at your head or anything like that. But the wood's really soft, so it's really conducive to having people enjoy the sport.
Have there been any injuries?
None.
None.
Nothing.
Okay.
Not in 5 years.
Other members? Okay. To my left, Officer Kelsey.
I will say that I've done a compliance check at the House of Hatchets within the last 30 days. I've gone through, Cliff actually did give me a tour of the facility. I can see where the bar is set up. It is separate from where they're actually throwing hatchets or shooting archery. On the night that I was there, they did have some entertainment. I would say there was a moderate number of people there. It was a Friday evening. I saw no issues. There were definitely no violations. Everything seemed to be working in an orderly fashion. So at that point, there's nothing that I would bring back to this authority to say that I had a concern. I have been to other establishments on and off Cape, and they do serve alcohol. So it's not something that is new or unique just to this facility.
You mentioned entertainment. What kind of entertainment do you do?
We've done open mics. We've done open mic comedy. We've done karaoke. We do paint and sips. Obviously, there's no hatchets throwing during the paint and
Is that
sip.
included in this license? Was it?
I believe you were before the authority within the past
for
year or
entertainment.
two for entertainment, and we did offer
Yeah, it's on the-
approval of that entertainment.
Yeah, I
Yep.
looked it up.
Did you?
It said-
Yeah, we have entertainment now.
Just making sure. Okay, any other questions, issues, concerns? Not hearing any. I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the application filed by the House of Hatchets, Inc., DBA House of Hatchets, to change the licensing category from wines and malts to all alcohol beverages as submitted.
Second, please.
Second.
Is there any other discussion? Not hearing any. The motion's been made. We have a second. We can vote on this. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is a vote. Good luck.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Be safe. Okay, next on the agenda is a listing of temporary and permanent closure notices. A number of locations doing business in Hyannis and around town. Comments from our staff, which we are all familiar with. This is based on Section 501-8 of the licensing rules and regulations. Any license intending to close its place of business for a short or long term during regularly scheduled dates of operation must notify the licensing authority in writing before such closing and state the reason for such closing. And we have listed for a temporary or permanent closure for a bit of time the Melody 10 Flashback, Embargo, Spanky's, King's Grant Racket, Chat Room at Crosby's, Tavern on the Green, Dragon Light, and Little Miss Cupcake. So, with that being said, I will accept a motion to allow this to happen.
I move to accept the temporary and permanent closures as noted on the agenda.
Second.
Okay, any questions from anyone? Any issues? Mr. Anthony, Officer Kelsey, none? Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. With that being said, I will accept the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
This motion? Aye. Opposed? Okay, that is a vote. Next is our consent agenda. The consent agenda for our audience consists of repeat events with no known reported issues. Also included are the annual renewals that have been received and that are complete. So I'm not going to read all of these, but there's a number of them, and I will entertain a motion to move these forward.
I move to accept the consent agenda as printed.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Any issues on any of these?
Yes,
Officer
please.
Kelsey?
On item number 3, which is the renewal of a special one-day beer and wine, and it's for the Sip and Shop events, which are scheduled for December 6, 2024, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Historically, as part of their security plan, we have recommended that they hire a police detail for the Main Street area, whereas most of these, actually all of these businesses that are going to be having the one-day alcohol licenses are not in the alcohol business. So we want to have just an extra set of eyes on the street, making sure that people aren't walking up and down Main Street with alcohol.
And this is for December 6th.
For December 6, 2024.
You're requesting that we assign an officer.
Correct.
Correct, okay.
Well, I'm requesting that
We,
the license restriction be that the Main Street bid has to apply for
Correct.
a police officer to work there.
Okay. Any other issues, any other questions?
If I could, I think whenever you modify something on a consent agenda, best practice is to pull that piece out and have a separate vote.
Going to do that.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, sir.
So with that being said, we can vote on items number 1 and 2 on the consent agenda, and then we'll separately take the special one-day beer and wine. So could I have to restate the motion for the consent agenda for items number 1 and 2?
Mr. Chairman, I move to accept the consent agenda as printed for items number 1 and item number 2.
Second.
Okay, no discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, opposed? That is a vote. Okay, item number 3, as was just previously discussed, it's the special one-day beer and wine for the bid, and we are going to require an officer to be present during that activity. So could I have a motion approving this, but also with the amendment on it, please?
I do have a question. This SIP thing, didn't they had one of these previously already?
They have had several over the last year and a half, and at each time that they've come before this authority, we've made the same recommendation.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve item number 3 on the consent agenda with regard to the Hyannis bid, including the recommendation that an officer be present during this time, during December 6th event.
Second.
Any other questions? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that is a vote. We can move right now down to licensing updates. Are there any licensing authority division updates? I know that Ms. Logan is not with us today, but perhaps Mr. Anthony, you would.
Erin, as licensing director, sends her regrets at not being able to be here. She is dramatically under the weather and will recover. However, in the interest of not bringing sickness into the workplace and an overabundance of caution, she let Chris and I kind of run the show today, and fortunately it was an easy agenda. She is in the midst of the annual renewals. There's been a lot of traffic in and out of licensing. However, I will say that the move to put all of this online has continued to get better and better every single year. The bulk of the applicants have figured out the system, and it's been consistent, and she has been, as we have come to expect, very responsive from a customer responsive standpoint. So that is tumbling along as we approach the new year. I know that December is a busy month for her, and we have some initiatives for 2025 that we will be bringing forward in the new year.
Thank you, Mr. Anthony. And Officer Kelsey, any updates from the police?
We just continue to work on our compliance checks, both with alcohol and non-alcohol items such as Class 1, Class 2 dealerships, and so on. Nothing significant right now, and we hope to keep it that way.
Okay. Okay, there are no matters not reasonably anticipated by the chair. I will announce that our next 2 meetings will be December 18, 2024, and January 22, 2025. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't wish everyone who might be watching or listening to have a very happy Thanksgiving from the licensing authority of the town of Barnstable. With that being said, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chairman, I move to adjourn this meeting to December 18th.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion? Not hearing any. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Thank you.